another invaluable lesson of powerhouse superstars and their chess game that they'll do with your life.
Wow, nice. Okay.
So
Okay.
that's my long Prince association. So, of course, he remained a mentor. I wish I would have been closer and more involved with him later because he obviously needed help, and I would have been that factor in his life not to kowtow to him. I would have been in arguments, making him go to drug rehab, and he would be alive.
Got you. Okay. Okay.
You know, so I'm still very dismayed about his ending, but that's my connection with him.
Now, did you get a chance to ever record anything with Prince?
No, I didn't get to record with him.
Okay.
I mean, we did a lot of jamming and rehearsal stuff. We never got that chance, and when he was trying to take me from P-Funk is when that was supposed to happen, but the P-Funk and George was not having that at all.
Right.
Just not. You know, George was already recording with me. My first stuff with him, there was no way that was going to happen. So, you know, that's my beginnings of my professional life.
Wow, that's nice, though. That's nice. That's really inspiring, though. And it also shows people how to, continue to keep with your dreams, keep hustling, doing what you got to do.
Well, I tell you, it certainly was that for me. It just wasn't any other way. And even now, with more wisdom and tons of experience being in, I'm finding that I'm doing another bout of supposed craziness, but on a much higher business level.
Got you. Okay.
So launching my own company, my label and production company, and being the CEO. Getting my MBA. It's interesting to see how you evolve from that time I'm telling you about to now.
Right.
It's just like, wow, that girl is.
So do you think that there's anyone in the industry currently that's similar to you? As I was looking back, I'm like, hey, who else has that type of sound or that, that flow that you have? Because I was looking through. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, actually, I've been looking to see if anyone is too, and there isn't any. There's no one. Michelle Ndegecello is an associate of mine, and of course she's an excellent composer and bass player, poet, vocalist. Right. And, she's in jazz and R&B. And she's probably the best out of all the rest of them who are out there, but there is no one who's doing what I'm doing, not even close. It's just like, I have one female guitar friend. She's local there in Philadelphia. Her name is Samantha Holland. She goes by Ghetto Songbird.
Songbird, yes, I know who she is.
And she plays guitar.
Right.
And she does like funk rock, and she's the only one who's even remotely anywhere in the genre that I am. I went from, being obviously a funk legendary, a musician from this legendary group, to being now, an entity in rock, in classic rock, like Lenny Kravitz and Aerosmith, and Living Colour, and Bon Jovi. You know what I mean? So, and of course, later on, as I was hired to do this television show with VH1, a rock show,
right? Mm-hmm.
With these rock stars who put the contestants into three groups, like a group of semi-professional musicians we were supposed to be. They didn't know who I was directly.
Right.
You know what I mean? I just auditioned, and they were like, came to me before I even left the audition, like, listen, we already letting you know that you're in the show, so just get ready, because, you know, we've never seen anything like you, so we're telling you right now, you're already in, so get ready to film. So when we started the show, we were broken up into 5 groups, and 3 counselors who were on the show, you know, I was in Mark Hudson's band, and Mark Hudson, for people who may not know, is a Grammy Award-winning rock producer. He's from the 70s show, The Hudson Brothers, from Sonny and Cher and that stuff from television, and he morphed himself into being a Grammy Award-winning rock producer who has won for Aerosmith and Ozzy Osbourne, and he's incredibly well-respected and known, you know, in rock. And so he chose me. Duff McKagan and Matt Sorum from Guns N' Roses were the other judges. And our job every day was to learn these different songs by these different groups or acts who would unannouncedly drop in to the rehearsal, and then we were sent out to perform live in Hollywood and Beverly Hills, and we were also sent to a recording studio to record some original music together. So it was like a boot camp. Wow. Music boot camp where real rock stars would come in and out every day. And among some of the ones who came to endorse me was Paul Stanley from Kiss. He was a good friend with Mark Hudson's, and when he came in, he looked at Mark and said, "Is this her?" And Mark said, "Oh yeah, that's her." Because by this time, I'm not really saying anything. Mark Hudson and the producers are telling everybody that I'm from Prince and George Clinton, and I'm a badass, and this, that, the other. So rock stars are walking in like, "Is this her? Come on, let's jam." So Paul Stanley walks up, and mind you, they filmed everything, you know, like reality shows do. So they filmed our rehearsals and all the crap in between. So Paul Stanley walks up on the stage as we're doing this Rolling Stone number and walks right up to my microphone and starts singing with me. I'm playing bass also, so that's what I do.
Right.
So I'm playing bass and singing, and Paul Stanley comes up, starts singing in my mic. Now we're nose to nose singing. The camera people and the producers are tripping. They're like, "Oh my God, Paul Stanley loves her. Oh my God, look at this. This is amazing. This is amazing." So we do the song. He's kissing my face. We're singing. He's hugging me. So we finish the song. We hug each other, and they're like hollering and screaming like, "Ah! Ah! Paul Stanley loves her! Ah!" So Paul looks up and said, "She's a superstar. This one is the one." So off camera, he connects with me and gives me his publicist. And even though at the time I couldn't afford her, she like became like a mentor publicist, you know, giving me assignments and sending me on charity events and things, you know, as a test from him.
Right. Wow.
And he and the producers got together and were like, "Listen, this girl is the next queen of rock, okay? There hasn't been one since Joan Jett and Hart, and Tina Turner's retiring, so, and she don't play no instrument." They were straight up like there, like, you know, we talking about somebody playing an instrument to really take the helm. And so we are deeming you the next one. And I was like, "Okay, sirs, you know, on bended knee and shit," like,
right.
You know, so you know, I got knighted, if you will, by all these major rock cats, Bret Michaels, Michael Anthony, Matt Sorum, Duff McKagan, Paul Stanley, Marky Ramone, you know, Mark Hudson, just so many different legendary people that I am now connected with and endorsed by. And, you know, there was no payment from it, but the payment was what I have now.
Right.
I am now a legitimately included and respected musician in rock, and it just doesn't happen often enough where musicians can cross genres and be respected,
right,
and be accepted. Very few people have been able to do it. I mean, back in the day, Jimi Hendrix was never embraced by black people then.
Yeah.
Okay. It wasn't until later, way after he's dead, and even still, it's not like they were playing him on black radio. Prince comes along later. He's one of the few that has gotten played on rock radio and R&B black radio, but he was still considered an R&B artist at the core.
Yeah.
But rock people liked him and accepted him. So, very few got to do it. If you look now with Lenny Kravitz, who, of course, is a friend of mine, Lenny, of course, is a rock artist, but he knows that he can get acceptance from certain black people when he opens himself up. You know what I mean? It's still pretty. And then, of course, the biggest factor on top of all of that for me is being a woman.
Right.
Okay? It is still very much a male-dominated, male-run business, and across the board, as a performer and musician, and in the business with the executives. So, which is why I decided to launch my own company and be the CEO. Okay. My goal now is not just to be the artist that I am, but the next CD that I'm releasing, my third one, will be through my label, my company, with me as the CEO. So what I'm doing is creating my empire to be like a musical Oprah.
Oh, wow. Okay, nice.
Yeah,
okay.
That's my goal, and that's what I am in the process of doing now, becoming a musical Oprah. And my company is the foundation of that, manifesting and happening. So I just realized that I couldn't just be a performer, artist alone. Not today. Not being a woman, knowing that women are still relegated to being cute sex dolls. Shut up and get in the corner and let us run this business.
Right.
It's very much still that way. So that's why I decided, okay, I'm going to expand myself and make sure that I am in way more power and control. And that's what I'm doing now.
So do you think that's for your genre of music? That's why you don't see too many young ladies in that genre, because they're probably forced to be strictly R&B / pop musician, artists or that type
of thing? Most definitely. Without question, as I said, there's a few female bass players or musicians who are in R&B and jazz, but just none in rock. I am standing on an island.
Right.
Waving the flag like, here I am. So, no, it's not. And which is why I've had to be how I am to be respected by the men who control and run the business and the genre.
Yeah. I think from the very beginning you showed how fearless you were. And I think that something like that, will help other young ladies to actually, continue to have their voice and not fall into the same boat that everyone else is in. Because some people get lost.
Very much so. And I hope, seriously, that I can be that inspiration and voice for girls. Honestly, people have asked me, advice about coming in, and I tell them, listen, don't come into this. This is not anything that I would advise any woman to come into. And the ones